I'll ask both of you, what do you understand by the term electromagnetic? What comes to your mind by the term electromagnetic? We have studied that in the waves chapter. Fatma, I'll ask you first because we have recently done it.
I know what electromagnetic waves means. I don't know what electromagnetic means.
I'm only asking about electromagnetic waves. I'm not asking about electromagnetic spectrum. What is meant by electromagnetic
Okay.
waves?
They are the waves that are produced by vibration.
And there is one significant difference between the. Acha, first tell me how many types of waves do we have? Ahmed, since you are the senior here, waves are categorized into two parts. What are those? One is electromagnetic, I have written in front of you. What is its second part? Type, I mean. I need quick answers.
Can
Yes
I
or no?
can
Just
I
go ahead.
longitude?
No. Mechanical waves.
Mechanical.
What are mechanical waves? These waves are medium dependent. They need medium for their propagation. And what are electromagnetic waves? They are medium independent. They do not require any medium. Electromagnetic spectrum is a type of electromagnetic waves, and when it comes to electromagnetic spectrum, we need to remember spectrum means a range of wavelengths are included into it. Range of wavelengths are a part of it. When it comes to electromagnetic spectrum, it's given it's given in O levels book as well. So I asked my student to just memorize this sentence. Rugby match is very unlike xylophone game. This is the electromagnetic spectrum. If you memorize this sentence, we take the first word of alphabet of each word. R stands for radio waves. M stands for microwaves. I stands for infrared rays. V stands for visible light. U stands for ultraviolet. X stands for X-ray. And G stands for gamma rays. Okay? Remember this sentence and this spectrum. Now, this next thing that you need to memorize is when you go from radio to gamma rays, wavelength decreases. And frequency increases. What would be the effect on the speed when it comes to electromagnetic spectrum? Ahmed, I would like you to answer this because you have studied this chapter and you're the senior again.
Sir, speed will also be increased.
You sure?
Yes.
All electromagnetic waves move with the same speed of light. Travels with the speed of light. And they have a fixed value, which is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meters per second. If there comes a question, they ask you, okay, what would be the speed of radio wave or microwave or UV or visible, whatsoever. all electromagnetic spectrum or all electromagnetic waves, they all travel with the same speed of light in vacuum or in air. ठीक है? And that value of speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to power 8. The only thing, this would vary. अब इसके अंदर हम लोगों ने जो visible spectrum होता है, we need to remember that as well. And how do we remember a visible spectrum? ये तो हम बचपन से करते हुए आ रहे हैं. What is that one sentence? Webgear. ठीक है? What does this stand for? Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. अब इसके अंदर हमें क्या याद रखना है when it comes to visible spectrum? When we go from violet to red, the refraction decreases. अब यहां पे हम स्पीड का डिक्रीज डिस्कस करेंगे. वेवलेंथ इंक्रीज करेगी कि डिक्रीज करेगी मूविंग टुवर्ड्स रेड? अहमद, in going from violet to red, the wavelength increases or decreases?
Increases. No. Yes, increases.
Increases. So there are two types of questions that come in the exam. One is with respect to electromagnetic spectrum, and they would normally give us a table in which one or two would be missing, and they would ask us to fill it. Okay, which wave would come here? Second is with respect to this visible spectrum. For visible spectrum, normally the kind of question that comes in the exams are they would have drawn a prism. Fatma, you have not done light, but when we'll go there, you will get to understand this chapter even better. Just for this part, the dispersion. Dispersion, there is a term used as dispersion. What is the meaning of dispersion? Ahmed, can you tell the meaning of dispersion?
Sir, it is occur when light, basically light, white light falls on a triangular
Hmm.
glass of prism.
And what happens when dispersion of light occurs?
A spectrum is
When
formed basically after.
yes, very good. White light split into its component colors due to difference in speed. रेड, जब भी हम स्पेक्ट्रम ड्रॉ करेंगे व्हाइट लाइट का, यहां तक वो सिंगल वेव होगी, बट जैसे ही वो इट वुड इंटर इनटू अ स्पेक्ट्रम, सॉरी इनटू अ प्रिज्म, इट वुड स्प्लिट अप इनटू इट्स कंपोनेंट कलर. ओके, एंड टॉप पे हमारे पास क्या होगा? रेड, फिर क्या आएगा? कलर ऐसे आते जाएंगे. नॉर्मली जो सबसे लीस्ट रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा वो रेड कलर होगा, और जो सबसे ज्यादा रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा वो कौन सा कलर होगा? वॉयलेट. इन बिटवीन कौन से कलर्स आने हैं वो हम इस स्पेक्ट्रम में से चूज कर लेंगे. ठीक है, we'll use this spectrum. And for example, if orange and yellow का उन्होंने स्पेक्ट्रम ड्रॉ किया हुआ है, तो ऊपर कौन आएगा और नीचे कौन आएगा? फातिमा, which would be at top and which would be at the bottom if we have orange and yellow color?
Yellow would be at top and orange would be at bottom.
No, the other way. Because orange is with red, so orange would be at top and yellow would be at bottom. ठीक है? Similarly, if yellow and green we're talking about, तो येलो टॉप पे होगा, ग्रीन बॉटम पे होगा. कॉज रिफ्लेक्शन कहाँ पे हो रही है? हम लोगों ने क्या डिस्कस किया? रिफ्लेक्शन का डिक्रीज इस साइड पे है. सो वट एवर इज बिफोर दैट वुड रिफ्लेक्ट द मोस्ट. एम आई क्लियर अबाउट दिस पॉइंट? सो अगर हमारे पास एक स्पेक्ट्रम ड्रॉ करने को आता भी है, लेट मी draw all the waves so that you guys could memorize it from there. One, two. It's hard for me to draw straight lines. So यहाँ पे indigo आएगा, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. ऐसे होगा हमारे पास स्पेक्ट्रम बनेगा, ठीक है? Cause डाउन आते हुए from red to violet refraction increases, cause speed decreases. And again, wavelength increases. Wavelength down to आते हुए क्या होगी? Decreases. Okay? And before the change of medium, they would have the same speed of light. Once the media is changed, only then the speed would vary. बाकी इस चैप्टर के अंदर और कुछ भी नहीं है. Every question that will come in your exams regarding electromagnetic spectrum, वो सारा is all about this. कि स्पेक्ट्रम में स्पेक्ट्रम कैसे ड्रॉ करेंगे, what is the meaning of dispersion, what is the meaning of reflection, we need to complete this, blanks होंगी स्पेक्ट्रम के अंदर हमारे पास, सर्टेन डेटाज होंगे हमारे पास जिसमें हम लोगों को डिस्कस करना होगा. स्पीड्स के बारे में नॉर्मली क्वेश्चन आता है हमारे पास कि स्पीड्स पे क्या होता है, उसमें हम कहते हैं इन एयर और वैक्यूम ऑल हैव सेम स्पीड. देयर इज दिस न्यू टॉपिक दैट इज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इनटू इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक चैप्टर. अच्छा, इनके सारे यूजेस भी हैं इन सारों के, रेडियो, माइक्रो, इंफ्रा, विजिबल, अल्ट्रा, एक्सरे एंड गामा. व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ रेडियो वेव ऑन टॉप ऑफ योर माइंड, अहमद?
Sir, it could be used in basically sounds.
शॉर्ट रेंज कम्युनिकेशन के लिए रेडियो वेव्स यूज होती हैं. माइक्रोवेव हमारे पास सैटेलाइट कम्युनिकेशन के लिए यूज होती हैं. एंड ऑल्सो फॉर कुकिंग फूड. इंफ्रारेड काम पे यूज होती हैं, सेंसर्स में यूज होती हैं. विजिबल विजिबल हमें नॉर्मली कम्युनिकेशन के लिए भी यूज होती हैं एंड वीएन के लिए भी यूज होती हैं. अल्ट्रावायलेट काम पे यूज होती हैं, सनबेड्स में यूज होती हैं. एक्सरेज काम पे यूज होती हैं, दे हैव मेडिकल एंड स्क्रीनिंग पर्पस. एंड गामा रेज काम पे यूज होती हैं, for killing cancer cells, and we have other uses as well that we study in the later stage. इनके respective uses भी हैं, तो at the same time इनके disadvantages भी होते हैं, cause ये energy waves हैं, so they also have certain effects on our body, on our cell as well, that I'll show you in the later stage. But first, let me know if you guys understand everything that we have discussed so far. Fatma, you especially. Is there anything you want me to
Yes, I
revise?
did. No.
Ahmed?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, the next thing that comes to this chapter is uh difference between a digital signal and an analog signal. Digital and analog. Digital signals क्या होता है? Signal in the form of 0 and 1. Discrete signals or discrete values, or signal that has only two states. Continuous signal is an analog signal. Analog signal looks something like that, and digital signal looks something like this is 0, this is 1, this is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, and 1. So this is 1, this is 0, 0, 1, 0. 1 and 0. अब digital signals versus analog signal के जो uses हैं, obviously we know digital signal could carry more data at the same time. ठीक है? Could carry more data at the same time and are less affected by noise, and they have faster in communication and communication. And then they have their respective other uses as well. Are we clear about digital and analog signal?
Sir, does digital carry more data or same amount
Yes,
of data?
more data at the same time as compared to digital signal. I might have written that point as well. I've written that point. Could carry more data at the same time and is less affected by noise, and they're faster in communication. So in our syllabus, it's divided. I forgot to tell in the previous section that our syllabus is divided into two parts, core and supplementary. We normally give the supplementary section. So the parts given in supplementary sections are more important than the core, but I would want you to review that as well. The very first point that they have given us, know the main region of electromagnetic spectrum in order of the frequency and wavelength. वो हम लोगों ने कर लिया. कौन सा था? Rugby match is very unlike xylophone game. This is the. अब इसमें हमने बात की थी कि हम जब टूवर्ड्स इस जा रहे होते हैं तो फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या होती है? इंक्रीज, और वेवलेंथ क्या होती है? डिक्रीज. ठीक है, पहला पॉइंट उन्होंने वही डिस्कस किया हुआ है. सेकंड उसने बोला हुआ दे ऑल मूव विद द हाई स्पीड इन वैक्यूम एंड दैट वैल्यू इज 3 × 10⁸. In vacuum or in air, they all travel with the same speed of light, which is 3 into 10 raised to power. It's a constant value, it does not change. Describe the typical use of different regions of electromagnetic spectrum. We have discussed that, and you need to memorize all these. That the radio waves are used for television and radio communication, in astronomy, and in radio frequency identification. Microwaves are used in satellite televisions, mobile phones, and microwave ovens. Infrared radiations are used in electric grills, short-range communication such as remote control systems, intruder alarms, and thermal imaging and non-optical fibers. Visible light is used for VN, for photography, and for illuminations. And do I need if just stop me if you want me to explain anything out of it if you don't know the meaning of that. Okay. Ultraviolet has a use in security marking, detecting fake banknotes, and in sterilization of water. X-rays are normally used for medical scanning and security scanning in airports. Okay. And gammas are used for sterilizing food, for medical equipments, and detection of cancer and its treatment. And since these are energy waves, they obviously have a harmful use as well. So microwave could cause internal heating of body cells, infrared could cause skin burns, ultraviolet can cause surface cells damage, leading to cancer and eye conditions. X-rays and gamma rays are the most energetic waves, so they would cause a mutation of cell that could lead to cancer again. Okay? Leading to cancer. So, हमने electromagnetic spectrum के बारे में पढ़ा. We came to know that they travel with the same speed of light. Then we studied about के next point हमारा क्या था कि हमने uses discuss किए electromagnetic spectrum के and their harmful effects. And moving on to the next part. Know that the communication with artificial satellite is mainly by microwaves. Some satellite phone use low orbit artificial satellites, and some satellites. I need to explain this part to you. What are satellites and what are low orbit and geostationary satellites? I'll get back to that part. Okay. We have discussed that Know that many important, this is very important. You could memorize this right from here. Since I'll send you the recording, mobile phones and wireless internet use microwave because microwaves can penetrate some walls and only require a short aerial for transmission and reception. Whereas if we use radio, Bluetooth uses radio waves and mobile phone uses microwaves. You need to keep this in your mind. Okay? Because radio waves can pass through walls, but the signal gets weaker in doing so. And what are optical fibers? Optical fibers are thin glass strands used for communication and medical purposes using light. Optical fiber use visible light or infrared used for cable television, high-speed broadband, yani internet, because glass is transparent to visible and some infrared light. Visible light and short wavelength infrared can carry high rates of data. Then we have discussed the difference between digital and analog signal. Know that the sound can be transmitted as a digital or analog signal. This point 9 is left to be discussed and last में हमने discuss कर लिया है कि explain the benefit of digital signal including increased rate of transmission of data and increased range due to accurate signal regeneration. Because मैंने आपको in the previous part I've explained it to you that जो digital signal होते हैं they are normally noise signals do not affect these signals. So that is all about electromagnetic spectrum. There is only a point left in which we will discuss that how do we do communication. This is the part he is discussing in that part. So analog could be converted in, sorry, sound could be converted into digital and analog signal. So in the following diagram, you'll get to see that here. First of all, sound here is in the form of analog. Okay, let me. ठीक हो गया? First of all, sound is converted into electrical signal using microphones. EE means electrical signal. ES, sorry. Sound is converted into electrical signal using microphones. Then this electrical signal is fed to ADC, which is analog to digital converter. It converts our electrical sound into analog signal. This analog signal is then given to laser diode. The laser diode, because analog signal we have discussed that it is in the form of 0 and 1. So the laser diode turn on and off according to this data कि जो हमारा analog sound has been converted into the form of zeros and one, and according to that zeros and one, the laser diode will turn on and off, and this on and off light signal would be given to the optical fiber. It would travel across the optical fiber, and this would be fed to photodiode. The photodiode then converts the on and off form of light back to electrical signal. ठीक है? Regenerators clean up the signal if there is any noise in the way, and then this is converted into zeros and ones again. This is converted to digital to fed it to digital to analog converter. This converts zeros and ones into the form of continuous signal, and this is fed to amplifier that would amplify the sound. That is amplitude maintained होता है उसका, amplitude managed. and it is then fed to loudspeaker which convert into sound again. Are you clear about this one?
हाँ जी.
Or is there any part you want me to explain again?
No, thank you so much.
That's how we talk over the phone. That's the whole process through which our sound goes through. And as a working of regenerator, you could see here that the noise has been imprinted onto a signal. This wavy thing is showing the noise pulse. The regenerator removes that noise and cleans up the signal, as we discussed that before. Okay? That's how our call, our sound is communicated across. And the theory is written right over here. The definition of analog and digital signal is right in our book. You could see here. A sound wave is an analog signal. It can vary continuously. And a digital signal is a pulse signal. It's on and off. Digital signal is mostly used in optical fiber for a much clearer sound. And that the use of Bluetooth and everything is written right here. The optical fiber, the Bluetooth, and the mobile phones that I've shown you from the syllabus as well. Satellites are basically objects which orbits the Earth. So if it's naturally existing there, it would be known as natural satellites. And if we have put that into orbit, that would known as a artificial satellites. So satellites are divided into into two types, sorry, which is natural satellite, which is कौन हमारे ऑर्बिट कर रहा है naturally.
Moon.
Yes, so moon is a natural satellite, and artificial satellites are all the one that is man-made satellites. But what is the meaning of satellite? Anything that orbits the Earth is known as satellite. Earth has natural satellite and so many other. There are two types of satellites. One is low orbit satellite and one is geostationary satellite. Low orbit satellites are the one which are closer to the surface. ठीक है? They can be as low as 2000 kilometer above the Earth's surface. ये आपकी Earth है, ठीक है? Sorry. जो surface से just 2000 किलोमीटर के डिस्टेंस की रेंज में होंगे, दे वुड बी नोन एज लो ऑर्बिट सैटेलाइट्स, और ये लोकल कम्युनिकेशन के लिए, फास्ट कम्युनिकेशन के लिए जो है वो यूज होते हैं. ये उन्होंने लिखा भी हुआ है. दिस मीन्स दैट देयर इज नो डिले इन कन्वर्सेशन. दीज सैटेलाइट्स ऑर्बिट द अर्थ in little as 2 hours. 2 hours में अपना सैटेलाइट का वो सॉरी रेवोल्यूशन कंप्लीट कर लेती है अराउंड द अर्थ सरफेस. A lot more of these are needed than for geostationary satellites. And what are geostationary satellites? Geostationary satellites are the satellites which whose orbital motion is in synchronous with the motion of the Earth. Geostationary satellites are those whose orbital motion is synchronized with the motion of the Earth. तो ये अपना रेवोल्यूशन कितने टाइम में कंप्लीट करेंगी जियोस्टेशनरी सैटेलाइट्स, अगर इस मोशन अर्थ के ऑर्बिटल मोशन के साथ सिंक्रोनाइज्ड है तो अर्थ अपना रोटेशन कितनी टाइम में कंप्लीट करता है?
24 hours.
यस, सो 24 आवर्स में उसका ऑर्बिटल मोशन कंप्लीट होता है. Orbital motion in 24 hours, and so does the geostationary satellites also commute. So हम इसको geostationary इसलिए बोलते हैं जियो क्योंकि वो अर्थ के साथ सिंक्रोनस है, स्टेशनरी इसलिए कि दे अपीयर स्टेशनरी, कि ये मूव नहीं करेंगे अपनी पोजीशन से, Cause इसका motion exactly Earth के साथ synchronous है. Geostationary satellites can handle more data at the same time. And यहाँ पे आपने एक और चीज mind में रखनी है कि the greater the distance from the Earth's surface, greater would be its orbital time period. ठीक है, ये यहाँ पे कहीं पे पॉइंट लिखा भी होगा. जितना ज्यादा अर्थ से आपका डिस्टेंस ज्यादा होता है, उतना आपका जो ऑर्बिटल पीरियड है वो इंक्रीज होता है, यानी इट टेक्स मोर टाइम फॉर देम टू कंप्लीट द ऑर्बिट. सो आर वी क्लियर अबाउट व्हाट सैटेलाइट मींस?
हाँ जी.
And how many satellites do we have? Types of satellites: low orbit satellites and geostationary satellites, and their respective uses. That is the end of electromagnetic spectrum. I have given you everything from the syllabus as well. Let me know if you have any questions from anything. Okay. So I have given you the whole review of electromagnetic spectrum from the IGCSE syllabus. Now let me walk you through the O-level syllabus. You could see the point, the very first point that is common in both, that discuss the electromagnetic spectrum in terms of frequency and wavelength. And we have discussed that in going from radio to gamma, the frequency increases and wavelength decreases. Again, the second point is common, that all electromagnetic waves move with the same speed of light, which is 3 into 10 raised to power 8. That is common in both the syllabus. Then their respective uses. It's common in both the syllabuses, their respective uses, and their damage that the X-rays that the electromagnetic waves cause to us, and that is only for the electromagnetic spectrum. That's it for electromagnetic spectrum in O-level course 5054 code. We have much more extensive syllabus in the 0625 syllabus. So I hope you understand everything that I have given you in the lecture. Let me know in the comment section if you have any other question. And we have very limited questions, limited data in 5054 code as compared to 0625 code. Both these syllabuses are according to the new syllabus. So if you have any question regarding anything, feel free to drop the comment.